much their only offense has been Chulak so far in this match.
Yeah, that's a problem for them. It's their passing. Westlake, as they wanted to do, is putting a lot of pressure on with their serve. If they can't get a good pass, Royal's going to have a hard time getting the ball to their middle and their right side player.
Chulak the serve, trailing 7-2. And there's another point for Royal. First time they've had back-to-back points, trailing 7-3 now.
They need to get on a roll right now. They need to close the gap here in this rally score game.
Big deep breath that time by Chulak before the serve. Now she goes the float serve, a little finesse. Off the top of the net, going the wrong way for Chulak and Royal. After the substitution, it'll be Manisto to serve. And I think that maybe the throw was a little bit off that time on that set.
Yeah, that's an all-out power serve. When the toss is there and you can crack it, it's a great serve. When the toss isn't there, it's hard to actually get into the court, as you saw with that one.
Could she have just caught it and said, take two?
No, you have to hit the toss. There's no opportunity to re-toss a bad serve.
From the back row, Manisto gets the kill that time.
Manisto doing a nice job of detonate both in the front and the back courts, putting a lot of pressure on Royal to defend her.
So a timeout is called, and we'll continue to talk a little bit more here about Julia Manisto as the student body here at Westlake. Very into it, very excited about what they've seen. Manisto played beach volleyball this summer, likes the transition. As someone who has also played a lot of beach volleyball yourself after starting your career on the indoors, what are some of the advantages of playing both?
I think you see defense and passing go up tremendously if you get out on the beach. You have to learn how to anticipate and read hitters on the beach. There's only two of you out there. So you tend to have to move your feet and your technique gets better. So she said that she has really seen an improvement in her defense and her passing by playing all summer on the beach.
Another one of the top players for this Westlake team is Nikki Kevorkian, and she comes from a very illustrious history of family members who have played at the collegiate level very successfully. Her father, Michael, played basketball at Cal State Northridge. Her older sister, Kate, played volleyball at Nevada. Her older brother, Scott, currently plays volleyball at UC Irvine, and she's being recruited right now by Loyola Marymount, UC Irvine, Alabama, and Tennessee. So the Kevorkian family loves basketball, very talented, and Kevorkian, one of the top middle blockers here for Westlake. That's Manisto from the back line. Another big swing. And Royal just has to get it over. And that swing by Schooler is long. The point goes to Westlake, and it's 10-4. Just talked about her before. This is Nikki Kevorkian with the serve. Point goes to Royal. Good swing that time by a player, again, Erin Schooler, who we did not expect to see in tonight's match.
She does a nice job of blasting that ball in between the blocker's hand. That's virtually impossible to dig.
On the substitution, Olivia Steinfeld will come in, and we'll see her serve for the first time. The lefty Steinfeld. That time goes to Royal. Another opportunity now for Steinfeld to try and get some momentum going for Royal. And that time right down the middle, Sydney Pugh. Good timing.
Yeah, great timing. That's a nice set by LSR. She's utilizing her quick hitter. That's very difficult to defend against. And here you see it slow down. LSR with one hand gets the ball right to her middle attacker, and she uses a finesse play to detonate.
That ball is in, and the point for Royal. So Royal hanging around in this second set. Trailed by 6 earlier, now trailing by 4, 11-7. Westlake won the first set, 25-16. Aaron Schooler with the serve. That will almost look like a slam dunk. It's just as much as anything else there, huh, Barbara?
Yeah, that is the slam dunk in volleyball. Really nice timing again by Elisar to Pugh. That's very difficult to defend against.
So 11-8 the score now. Westlake leading by 3. Royal with the serve. Schooler again. Set for Chulak, a big swing. Set Chulak again. In the back row, Manisto. And a point for Royal. I don't know if that was the game plan, but it worked.
Yeah, caught off guard with that nice dig. It's always good to get the ball up. Even if you can't control it on your side, shove it over the net.
So now Royal has scored 3 points in a row. Another serve for Schooler. Manisto from the back row. Not a lot of velocity on that one, but it's going to lead to a point as the passing is off for Royal.
Yeah, you got to get an apex on that pass so your setter can get underneath the ball. Otherwise, it's too hard to control.
This will be Blair Gonzalez, who will serve for the first time. She's another one of the seniors that were honored here at Westlake tonight. That serve goes too long. Back to Brooke Saban now, the serve for Royal. And Manisto gets blocked, but still the point for Westlake.
Yeah, that hit. That's a nice selection by Manisto going after that block. See how there's space in between their hands.
Quick middle attack, but a whistle. And the point will go to Royal. Royal continuing to hang around in this second set. And a Bauer with that serve. And another point for Westlake. Sometimes a little bit of sloppy at times that we've seen in this second set, but Westlake again just finding the ability to continue to get the ball over the net and good things happen. Now they set Manisto, and she's so difficult to stop when she gets airborne like that.
Yeah, that's her bread and butter. She loves turning the ball down the line. She doesn't care if she clears the block or if she uses the block.
Back up to a 4-point lead for Westlake. Tani Elisar the serve. And another point for Westlake.
That's a well-formed block. You see the ball going outside.
And the timing off that time again with Parkinson, and so another point for Westlake, and Westlake starting to pull away. 4 straight points for Westlake and a 17-11 lead. And now a timeout will be called by Royal High School's coach, Chris Goulat, because he knows his team here is starting to get away from him. So 17-11 is the score. Westlake leading Royal. Adjustment here, if you're, pretend you're Chris Goulat, what kind of adjustments are you saying to his team here at Royal High School?
You've got to get your team to pass better. As you can see, the pass breaks down and you can't get the ball to your hitters. I think that right now Westlake is out-serving Royal, and it's showing in these points and these point spreads. In rally score, you've got to stay within 3 or 4 points of the team. Otherwise, it's very difficult to come back into the match.
So Westlake the lead, 17-11, the student body getting into it. For weekly analysis and previews of SoCal Prep Sports, tune in to Varsity Roundup with Danny Page, Randy Rosenblum, and Eric Sodenheimer of the Los Angeles Times, Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. right here on SoCal 101. That's Angela Bales, the sophomore, but a good dig by Westlake. Back to Manisto, and I don't know if they even saw that one.
Manisto getting into a nice rhythm here. I think she's feeling a lot more comfortable. She brings a lot of power on that hit. That's why she's their kill leader.
Tani Elisar with a nice run here with her serve. The back set for Chulak. And inside, that was Nicole Kevorkian. Talked about her earlier. That's why a lot of colleges are looking at her as the middle blocker.
Yeah, she has a height advantage here. She is 6'5". If she pushes her hands over the net, she should get a block every time.
8-point lead for Westlake. Another great job by the middle blockers for Westlake. Good opportunity here for Westlake. Good timing, but the point not quite there. And Royal will get the point which they needed. Now trailing 19-12. That'll stop a run of 6 in a row.
That's one of the more difficult sets to run. It's called a 3 set. It's a fast set to the middle, and timing has to be impeccable for that hitter to connect.
Chulak looked over at her head coach, Chris Goulet, before getting ready for this serve. Down 7 points in the second set. Great serve. They need a couple more of those.
Yeah, Chulak doing a nice job of generating points. Every time she gets back to that service line, she looks at her coach, he tells her the location that he wants her to go after, and she is delivering.
She goes the same location again. And it's back-to-back points for Royal.
That set is too tight. There's nowhere for Manisto to go. I give credit to Royal for forming a well-formed block.
Chulak continuing to go right after Manisto on the serves. Timing well off that time for Royal. And now they can set Manisto. Great job by the libero there, Bonilla, with that save. Back row attack for Chulak. Off the ceiling, off the net, and a point for Royal.
Chulak doing a really nice job of producing power from the backcourt. She's hitting that ball as hard as she can, and Westlake is having a hard time controlling it.
4-0 run here for Royal with Chulak serving. It was 19-11, now it's 19-15. And stopping the run that time was Megan Young for Westlake.
That's a beautiful set by Elisara, laying it out on the ground to deliver a hittable set.
And now back to Manisto's serve. And that one into the net.
I think Manisto has the green light to serve as hard as she can. That's why her coach isn't worried about her errors. He knows if he lets her do what she wants, she's going to generate points.
Rocky Bonilla with that serve. Hit the top of the net, but falls on the Royal side, so it's another point for Westlake and 4 points away from winning the second set. Here's Nicole Kevorkian. And that serve just handcuffed Erin Schooler. So 3 points away from winning this second set is Westlake. Kevorkian another serve. Big swing from Kuterin. And it leads to another point for Westlake.
Westlake getting on a roll now. You can see they're comfortable. They're using other hitters to detonate these balls.
Working the serve again. The quick middle attack, and Royal needed that one. Explain the timing that needs to occur for a play like that.
Well, that's great timing. Sabin goes up. She's got a real nice arm swing. She's a very athletic middle hitter. She's not too big, which means she can be very athletic at the net.
So for Royal, trim the lead to 19-15, but now it's back up to a 6-point lead. Set Kuterin with the left hand. A nice dig that time from Royal. From the back line, Chulak gets the point.
That's the dribbler. That's just hitting the ball as hard as you can, and sometimes you get lucky when it just dribbles right over the net.
And at this point for the setter, Hannah Bauer, she's pretty much just going to Chulak whenever possible.
Yes, she's got to feed Chulak right now. She's really the only hitter that's detonating.
Steinfeld to serve again. Great effort that time by Royal just to keep the point alive. Another great effort to keep the point alive. We'll see if Westlake can convert. Kuterin. They get it over, and that one will be out. Just barely out. Great effort from Royal, but right now Westlake just the better team.
Yeah, they're just controlling the ball better, putting the ball in better places, keeping the pressure on Royal's team right now.
Set point for Westlake. Won the first set 25-16. And the whistle and the infraction against Royal.
That's a throw call. The setter has too much spin on the ball. You've got to have a clean ball come out of your hands as a setter.
So Westlake takes the second set 25-18 after taking the first set 25-16. And we'll keep it right here as the two teams will trade sides. The students at Westlake, very excited about this one. All right, if you're Westlake and you're their head coach, Ernest Rittenhouse, you're in complete control. What's your message other than keep doing what you've been doing so far?
Yeah, I think he's just got to keep his team hungry right now. Royal could turn it around at any moment. Westlake's got a nice rhythm right now. When they're serving tough, they're putting a lot of pressure. So if I were him, I'm trying to inspire my team to stay hungry and close this match in 3 sets.
So again, a 2-set lead for Westlake over Royal. This and other Time Warner Cable Game of the Week telecasts are available 24/7 on Time Warner Cable's video on demand. Just go to Channel 1 and select the Time Warner Cable Sports tab, and then local sports, then high school. It's all on Time Warner Cable's video on demand. Really recommend you check it out. All kinds of football, volleyball, all kinds of great action that you can see there on Time Warner Cable Sports on demand. Paige Rasmussen, 3 digs away from tying the school record for most digs. She came into it 14 away. She's got 11 after the first 2 sets. What have you thought about Paige Rasmussen's performance so far?
I think she's doing a great job tonight. Not only is she going to break this record, I'm confident she will get 3 more digs in this set, but she's also impressive from the serving line. She is creating the majority of the points for her team.
She plays the libero position. That's been around for 8 to 10 years or so. That wasn't around when you played high school volleyball. What do you think the libero position has done to the overall game?
I like the libero position because it adds some defense. What happened with volleyball is everybody got so tall, no one could play any defense. So you just had attack, 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 and you had no defense going on. So because everybody's getting so tall, they had to bring in a new position, which they created called the libero. So you get somebody who's excellent on defense and passing so it can keep the ball alive.
And that really opens up the sport to other players who aren't as tall as well. It gives more opportunities.
Exactly, because the smaller, more ball control player was being eliminated from the sport completely until they created this position.
And so for the libero, they're not allowed to, they can serve and they have to stay on the back line at all times, correct?
Yes, they cannot hit a ball overhead in front of the 10-foot line.
So there's Paige Rasmussen, 13 service points, 2 aces, 11 digs are her totals. She's definitely a weapon.
Absolutely, she's kind of the heart of this team right now, to be honest with you. Manisto is their power, but she's the heart of this team. She's keeping this team going and creating a lot of point scoring opportunities.
So we're moments away from the start of the 3rd set. Again, the first time that these two teams met earlier in the regular season, Westlake won the first set, but it was 31-29, and they had to stave off 5 set points. Royal then won the second set before Westlake won sets 3 and 4. So far tonight, it's been all Westlake, winning the first two, 25-16 and then 25-18.
Thanks to Time Warner's Cable for televising.
Big smile on the face there of Manisto. She said that we're not looking ahead, even though they're playing Thousand Oaks next week with a chance to tie the regular season Marmonte League. She said, we've been very focused match to match all year long.
Yeah, that is one of their coaches' philosophies. Rittenhouse said they take every match, one match at a time. They do not look ahead in their schedule, and that has helped them this year with their record.
And let's face it, most coaches want that. Sometimes it's hard to get the players to buy into that, but it seems like the players for Westlake definitely have.
Definitely.
There's Manisto to start things off in the third set. A good dig by Chulak. Now Chulak from the back row, and it'll be the first point of this set will go to Royal.
Yeah, Royal needs to start strong in this set if they're going to have an impact and win this set.
This is Hannah Bauer, setter for Royal with the serve. And a nice swing that time by Erin Schooler leads to back-to-back points for Royal.
Schooler doing a nice job of contributing tonight. She is coming off of a hurt ankle. Here she comes and bangs that cross court into the opening.
I think there's a little English on that one as well, and then a great serve that time by Hannah Bauer, the ace, and it's 3-0 Royal.
This is exactly how Coach Gulat would want to start this set. You've got to bring the pressure on. You've got to create point-scoring opportunities.
3-0, make it 4-0, back-to-back aces for Hannah Bauer. Royal trying to make a comeback here. The rally cap is on for Chris Goulet. He said, when the hat turns around, you know I'm serious. The next thing to look for is whether he takes off his sandals. Manisto trying to stop the run, but the point's going to go to Royal.
That's a set violation again. They do not like the contact of the hands on that set call.
Royal really needed this after trailing 2-0. Bauer continuing to serve well. Back to Manisto. Make it 6 points in a row for Royal, and now some frustration evident on some of the faces of the Westlake players.
Yeah, Westlake completely out of rhythm right now. Coach is going to take a timeout, slow things down.
So 6-0 Royal leading Westlake. We remind you that you can enjoy high school sports better with Time Warner Cable, Turbo Internet, HD TV, and home phone. Enjoy better with Time Warner Cable. So for Westlake and their coach, Ernest Rittenhouse, trailing 6-0. Time to just regroup and kind of catch your deep breath.
Yeah, time to get them back on schedule. They've got to light a fire and want this match. If they drop a set, you never know what can happen. It's 3 out of 5, so he's got to get his players excited to close this match in 3 sets.
That's Paige Rasmussen's family right there. I'm sure they are very proud of their daughter. She's a senior. She was honored and thanks the parents, as all the seniors do. And there's a look at Paige Rasmussen trying to turn things around in this third set for her Westlake teammates. 6-0 Royal, the lead and the serve. Kuderin from the back row, make it 7 in a row for Royal.
Impressive serving from Bauer. If you're noticing, she's moving the ball around. She's not even targeting one person. She's going after one and then another and then another.
Manisto from the outside, but first a whistle and a point for Royal.
I think that's a tight call. The ref tonight does not like the setter's hands unless it's coming out perfectly.
So 8-0 Royal in this third set. Much deeper with that serve. And a good point there for Westlake as Manisto just getting it over the net and the block was just off.
Yeah, Westlake will take a point any way they can get at this point. They've got to slow down that serve.
Manistow now with 8 kills in this match. Rasmussen a good serve. And another point for Royal.
Just a huge momentum shift here. As you saw in the first 2 sets, Westlake was really handling Royal. But as we mentioned, this league is very competitive. You never know, on any given night, a team can rise to the occasion, and that's just what Royal's doing.
Erin Schooler the serve, 9-1 Royal. Make it 10-1 as the passing is off there from Westlake and Royal takes advantage.
Excellent serving. Every time the serve goes back. There's the missed pass. Middle blocker goes up and takes advantage to the open court.
That was Angela Bale, 6'5" sophomore. She has an opportunity to do some very good things in this sport. Only a sophomore, and with that height, will just continue to get better and better. A 9-point lead for Royal. Manistow, and that one will be just in. Royal did not like the call.
I think the head official is going to overrule that call, and he does. If he sees it out, he has the power to overrule that call. Maybe a little home court advantage here. Here's the hit. The lines person calls it in, but the up ref clearly sees that out.
11-1 now for Royal. Another set for Manistow. Great block that time. And the whistle. And another point for Royal.
Elisara is under the net on that play. You cannot go under the net to interfere with the other team. Violation, point goes to Royal.
So it's 8 points served by Hannah Bauer, and now 4 straight points that have been served by Erin Schooler. Hannah's still trying to stop the run, a good dig. Chulak. Back to Chulak again. Rasmussen, yet another dig. Manistow. And that time, Manistow's able to stop this run. 12-2, though, the score for Royal.
Yeah, that is a huge lead. A nice shoot set to the outside. Manistow detonates to the angle. She needs to get on a roll here.
This is Elisara the serve. And that serve is long. Now, we've seen very aggressive serving by Westlake, but when you're down now 13-2, do you have to be a little bit more conservative with your serves?
Yeah, that ball needs to go in. As you're seeing here, volleyball is a game of momentum. Royal has all the momentum here. Westlake having a hard time stopping them.
Rocky Bonilla the serve. And she's wearing the white jersey to indicate that she's the libero for Royal. The middle attack, but the timing is off there as Kevorkian's jump was not in sync with the set.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours. Like I said, momentum here all on Royal's side. Westlake needs to settle in and get back to their A game.
And that one will be out. And again, Westlake happy to get a point any way possible, 14-3. You see the dramatic momentum shifts that can happen with rally scoring. What's your memories of time before there was rally scoring?
Before rally score was side out score, so you really had to earn your points, and it was easier to come back. With rally score, it's very difficult to come back from an 11-point deficit.
Good opportunity for Royal to go to Chulak. Kuterin, and that one is in. I'm very impressed with the power that such a small body Megan Kuterin is able to generate.
Yeah, she has very good technique. She stays behind the ball and snaps fast. That's what creates her power.
Rasmussen not able to keep that one alive, and so 15-4 is the score now for Royal. The momentum shift enormous here as Westlake winning the first 2 sets, but Royal 15-4 scored the first 8 points of this third set. Manistow from the back row. And Chulak that time.
Outside the antenna. You have to hit the ball within those 2 red and white antennas for it to be a legal contact.
It's not a bad idea. She saw the opening.
Much more difficult if you don't have antennas.
Kevorkian the serve. And that hit will be out. No, it was touched by Westlake, so the point will go to Royal.